بهترین آرزوها خدمت شما بینندگان گرامی، شما که به تماشای برنامه راه آینده، برنامه حزب مشروطه ایران نشسته اید. در ادامه گزارش‌های برنامه نشست گروه‌های سیاسی در دانشگاه UCLA به گزارش بعدی ما، گزارش بخش سوم و پنل سوم می‌رسیم. در این پنل آقای بیژن کیان از اندیشکده آوای آزادی هستند که پژوهشگر استراتژیک و مسائل سیاسی می باشند. در این پنل افراد و کارشناس‌های خارجی و انگلیسی زبان شرکت دارند و یا داشتند که به مسائل سیاسی ایران و مسائل امکانات بررسی بعد از فروپاشی جمهوری اسلامی می‌پردازند. با یکدیگر نظاره‌گر هستیم.
کنفرانس آینده نگری برای ایران جوان به میزبانی حزب مشروطه ایران لیبرال دموکرات در دانشگاه UCLA برگزار شد. این نشست در ادامه همگرایی مونیخ و با تاکید بر اصول شاهزاده رضا پهلوی بر توانمندسازی زنان و جوانان ایران در دوران گذار دموکراتیک متمرکز بود و با همکاری حزب سکولار دموکراتیک ایرانیان جبهه هفتم آبان و اندیشکده آوای آزادی شکل گرفت. به عنوان اولین سوال، پیام شما برای نوروز 1404 چی هست؟
پیام برای 1404 سال آزادیه. آنچه که میشه پیش بینی کرد از اتفاقات داخل ایران، آنچه که میشه پیش بینی کرد از اتفاقات جهانی، میشه پیش بینی کرد که امسال حقیقتا سال آزادی است. برای که جمهوری اسلامی به ته خط رسیده، هر ترفندی داشته استفاده کرده، هر رئیس جمهوری باید عوض بکنه کرده، هر بهانه باید می آورده و نتونسته واقعا به مردم رو حتی سری سوزنی راضی کنه. بعد من معتقد جهان هم بود، من معتقدم متحد شدن به علیه جمهوری اسلامی، برای که 7 اکتبر در 2 سال پیش اون کلید رو زد که نشون داد که اگر جمهوری اسلامی دست باز در جهان داشته باشه با چه رطابت قلبی میتونه راه بیفته، کشتار کنه و نیروهای نیابتیش رو راه بندازه. و به همین دلیل من معتقدم از 7 اکتبر جهان تحملش در مورد جمهوری اسلامی پایان رسید و امروز نشانه‌هایی می‌بینیم که همه دنیا در این مورد دارن با هم متفق می‌شوند.
So they need to understand that this platform is not a foreign creation. This is not a foreign object. It's an open source platform where you engage with it, and the success of it, and the building and the multiplication of it, is the result of your engagement. So your high literacy rate, your engineering degree, everything that is valued in the real world will be valued on this platform, while it wasn't valued before under the regime because you were not part of the group, the in-group. You were the out-group.
So this is the first of this discussion. This is not the end of the discussion. This is where we begin to continue our dialogue with the 40-year-olds in Iran. And I want to thank you for sharing your experience, imagining what it could be. And in a free future Iran, there would be no difference between the opportunities a woman holds and a man holds. Absolutely. You know why? The women will not allow it. Not because somebody is going to give it to them. The women of Iran will not allow it. And I'm not just saying that to please my wife who's sitting here. She knows the power that my mother had, my sisters have, my daughters have, and now my granddaughters have. They're very powerful, extremely powerful. So in the future of Iran, I'm counting on the women of Iran to be able to continue leading the creativity. Because look, they're not just making opportunities, they are responsible for the future generations of how they behave and how they come to the society. And there's been great damage in the Iranian society that needs to be repaired. If we have to fix something, it's the culture. And that's why Marcus is sitting next to me doing the imagination, because I can't do it in an organized fashion like he does. Now, I'm going to go to Nick Hoffman. Now, I will get there at the same time, so that's exciting. But, you know, I want to ask you, Mr. Hoffman, could you pry open this magic box of the possibilities of what Marcus is talking about? Who's going to invest in Iran? What conditions should be present to do that? We talked about the fear and suspicion about foreigners and foreign investment, and they're going to come and do what William Knox Darcy did, but Iranians will not permit that anymore. This is not 1901. This is 2025, where the world is behind all those freedom-seeking people in Iran, all together. Nick, tell us, who's going to come to the aid of operationalizing this platform? Who is going to come under what conditions? Because today, with Islamic Republic in place, with this corruption, with this ineptitude, incompetent government, nobody, no foreign investor, I mean, there are people in this room who manage the largest portfolio in the world of foreign investment. They know what foreign investment needs to have the comfort. And Nick, you know as well. So please tell us, how can we actualize this platform for the 40-year-old in Iran? What do you tell them? Imagine you're talking to the 40-year-old directly. Of course, the distinguished audience is here, and we'll also add to that with their own thoughts and questions later, which we will have time for. But Nick, it's all yours. How do we get this done?
Thank you. It's a great pleasure to be here. Always a pleasure to be with Marcus and you, and of course Will and Jordy. And look, capital is fungible. Capital will go where there's safety and recourse. So if you don't have a clear rule of law, if there is the possibility of slow or fast capital loss through impairments, through legal actions, people won't invest. If you've got $100 and you buy something and you know you can put it in your pocket, you feel comfortable. If you buy $100 of something that maybe the government takes away from you in a year or two, you don't buy it. There is capital. There will always be capital for good investments. What we're very lucky about in this time in the world is there are development banks and institutions who facilitate large capital investments. And for the Iranian people, particularly this individual that we're talking about, I think the most important thing is trying to figure out where the best entry points are. Is it building hospitals? Is it building schools? Is it building other types of infrastructure that create jobs both in the construction and in the operation? There is capital at the World Bank, at the German development banks, the French development banks, the English development banks. All you have to do is come and show that there's the right legislative protections that prevent the government or any other party from taking away your right to those assets. Then being able to build an asset that generates a sustainable income. And within an economy like Iran today, there are ample opportunities for us as a platform working with the Iranian people to identify those systemic problems where we can put in infrastructure that will create long-term opportunities. It could be telecommunications. It could be digital skip. Why start with 4G and copper lines when we can go straight to 5G and provide people faster in-home internet so that they can create their own businesses? We have to find those things with the Iranian people. We have to find those things and make sure that the legislation supports those investors who come in to fund those businesses and make sure that those businesses have a recourse for their investment. That, Bijan, I think is the right approach.
Thank you, Nick. We're going to come back to you, and I'm going to be that pesky student again with you as well, but not this round. Thank you. We appreciate it. We touched upon, the players, the multilaterals, the export credit agencies around the world. There's 60 of them, and they're on there to make sure that when their exporters want to sell their stuff around the world, whether it be services or products, that they would be there to level the playing field, so that to make sure that if other countries put their export finance power behind their exporters, that they do too. And like Nick said, Germans do it, French do it, Italians do it, Helmut Müller in Germany, COFAS in France, and SACE in Italy do what Export-Import Bank of the United States does. Again, there are people in this room that sat behind those desks and processed those mega projects, billions of dollars. We are used to those. We know no money challenge at all. We solve money challenges because we are trained to do that. When the risk is too much, we have solutions. This is not for the weak at heart. When you go invest in a very problematic, troubled environment, you have to understand that you're going to do mining where people are going to shoot you. You're going to do telecommunications where people are going to probably steal your towers. So and your radios. So you have to understand how these things are done in such an environment. But ladies and gentlemen, every program needs to have a commercial. And I'm going to now run the commercial. I've been asked to do so on a very important commercial. The lady who came to me and said, you guys have an important program here, we understand that, but we're also doing something very important in Washington, D.C. on April 13th between 2 to 4 in the afternoon. We're going to get in front of the White House and we're going to do another one of those 5 points mentioned by Prince Reza Pahlavi. Didn't you say we're following him? Didn't you say that you're following his program? So, okay, here's another point of those 5 points. You get there and advertise it with pleasure. I'm on TV a lot, not because I like it, but because I have to. And then I find myself getting in that role of running commercials as if it's real. So I am running a commercial. April 13th, in front of the White House, getting together, because just like that poster said, those arrows must be all let go at the same time. take your arrows, go to Washington, D.C., and join D.C. protests. It has a website. You can ask friend Hope Beta, who's sitting in the back. That's my daughter's name, so I can remember that easy. And she'll tell you all the rest of it. Please consider supporting these group activities. It's important. We cannot say, oh, we have a standard bearer of change and he's carrying the flag, our national identity up front, and we follow him. But you know what? We are tired. We can't come and follow you and join you in that voice. I don't know if the prince is going to be there that day. They don't tell me these things. I'm not aware of anything, but I'm sure his voice would be there and his thoughts are going to be there. Good luck. And you know, if I can talk my bank manager to give me a loan to be able to finance travel, I'll be with you as well. So with that, now, Cole Swanson, we are talking about turbulent waters. We're talking about a country where a government has for 46 years used uniformed, trained killers who've been beating up on people, stealing their future, not letting them live a normal life. And we are here offering a platform. You spent your life in turbulent waters, in most difficult situations. Yeah, you know, your introduction says you work for the Defense Intelligence Agency. And people would say, oh, you spy? What do spies have to do with economic development? You know, you're a military officer. You're trained to kill people and break things, pretty much. But what does that have to do with creating a job? And the 40-year-old is as pesky with you, Colonel Swanson, as he is or she is with the rest of the panel. So the question is, Colonel Swanson, how are we going to do this? Yes, BlackRock wants to invest so much in what country or not, and the other ones are going to follow. And GE wants to sell generators, and Boeing wants to sell aircrafts, and somebody has to invest in this, and then you face the challenge of an angry people, very angry people. 46 years they've been killed and maimed and shot at, lost their eyes and lost their lives, and you're saying, I want to give you a job. He wants a job, this 40-year-old, but he's very angry also. And there's going to be an environment where security is necessary to be able to conduct trade and commerce. Because if you're doing mining and people shoot at you, how are you going to get the stuff out, turn it into something good, maybe ameliorated? Maybe if you're selling copper ore at the rate of $9,000 per pound, you can turn that into copper wire for technology and sell it for $90,000 per ton. How do you do that when people are shooting at you? They're not letting you do that. And certainly you cannot do that in an environment where you have to pay bribe and you have to deal with the warlords and deal with unusual conditions. None of that would exist, but you still deal with angry people in a place where there is no bureaucracy. Permitting is going to be still very difficult. No more bribery, perhaps, but still very difficult because they're not sure what to issue a permit on or not. So you've dealt with all of these. If somebody asks me, what is a military attaché's job in our embassy abroad, I would be able to explain that. It has everything to do with development. Because development cannot take place in an unsafe environment. Also, you have to remember that trade pays for security because security makes trade possible. And that's why, Colonel Swanson, we become the bestie student to ask you, how do we do this in a difficult environment? You've done it, you've been there, you've faced and met the challenges, not just with the military force, but with the intellect that you and your colleagues have. It's no wonder that it's called defense intelligence, because smart people work there. It's yours.
can say are cautionary tales. One of them is this: 46 years of pent-up anger of the Iranian people towards the Islamic Republic. This is an opportunity for the Iranian people to truly focus their rage at the appropriate location, which is the Islamic Republic. Because right now, they're being challenged by a very difficult moment in history. The Iranian Republic is in checkmate. They were proved to be a paper tiger. They have no defenses at this point. Their airspace is completely vulnerable. Their proxies have been destroyed. Their ability to retaliate is gone. At this moment, anyone can fly across Iran relatively undisturbed. So what does that mean? Before, the United States had a veto on our friends in Israel going in and taking out the Iranian threat of the nuclear weapon program. Because there's only one platform on Earth that could have gone in and dropped a very large bomb on one sortie and flown back out again to remove that threat, at least temporarily. And that was the B-2 bomber that belongs to the United States government, and that meant that we had a veto. At this point, if you want to take out the Iranian nuclear threat, you could set the FedEx plane to do the same thing. Okay? So what does this mean? The Islamic Republic is in checkmate. The United States president has put down the gauntlet and said, we're going to negotiate, and we're going to give the Iranian people a chance to determine their future. Or, we're going to go with their military. The unfortunate thing about this is, the Iranian people, of course, are at a disadvantage. There are those people in the IRGC who have killed, who have hurt people, who have stolen, who will defend their position. And this is the problem. How do we have, the day before, the day after, set the conditions for the success of Iran? That requires legitimacy, it requires sovereignty, and it requires national unity. This is something that will not come through military action. This is not something that's going to come if the United States and Israel go in to denuclearify Iran. This has to be done organically by the people of Iran, otherwise it will not work. We've heard about 1901, we've heard about other episodes in Iranian history where the legitimacy and national sovereignty were compromised, and we've seen what happened. The revolution was very much a response to that. So we, together as a global community, need to help the Iranian people move to that day after that does not involve engagement with military forces, that does not involve a tit-for-tat response that will eventually ratchet from just destroying nuclear facilities, then the conventional forces, and then punishing the Islamic Republic, which means the Iranian people, when there's retaliation outside of Iran. This is what we need to prevent. It's up to the Iranian people to form a legitimacy for what happens next. But it's happening. It's happening now. It will happen very soon. This is the moment. And it is about sovereignty, national unity, and legitimacy.
Thank you, Will. You know, it's not surprising that you speak with such confidence about such complex matters, because you've done it. You know, one of the challenges of our time is that a lot of interested people want to do things they've never done before, and they hope to be able to accomplish what needs to be accomplished. It's difficult. You can't do that. If you have a broken pipe in your home, you call it plumber. You don't call a PhD in hydromechanic or hydroelectronic. You won't be able to fix the broken pipe. You gotta find someone who has fixed it before. That's really important. One of the problems of the past 46 years, Will, has been that imagine that two soccer teams are playing against each other. One of them is very good. The other one is not good at all. They're playing in a stadium with 100,000 people who love soccer. They all want to jump in with their own soccer ball, playing soccer. Just ask yourself a question. Who do you think they're helping? The strong team or the weak team? The weak team loves chaos.
با یکدیگر به یک موزیک ویدیو نگاه میکنیم و باز میگردیم.
خود نشد عبرتی برای روسری. می ستیزیم با سرکشی و خودسری، دست در دست هم، ما همه کنار هم، با همیم هر کجا هر زمان پشت هم. جمله پیر و جوان، هم صدا و هم زبان، به پا خیزید، به پا خیزید، به پا خیزید ملت قهرمان. از جا برکنیم کاخ جور و ستم، تا رسد نسیم آزادی در وطن دم به دم. آزادی، آزادی، امروز آخرین پیام ماست. ایران آزاد، ایران آزاد، آخرین پیام ماست. بشنوید، بشنوید، بشنوید صدای دختران انقلاب، ملتی به جان آمده، ملتی به جان آمده از حصار حجاب.
زنده و جاوید ایران ما، جنبش و قررش شیران ما. زنده و جاوید ایران ما، جنبش و قررش شیران ما.
آزادی، آزادی، امروز آخرین پیام ماست. ایران آزاد، ایران آزاد، آخرین پیام ماست. بشنوید، بشنوید، بشنوید صدای دختران انقلاب، ملتی به جان آمده، ملتی به جان آمده از حصار حجاب. آزادی، آزادی، امروز آخرین پیام ماست. ایران آزاد، ایران آزاد، آخرین پیام ماست. بشنوید.
And this has been the case. Many of us have been wanting to take our ball, jump into the soccer field, and start helping our favorite team. That's no way to happen. What works is a group of professionals who've done it before to get together, figure things out, and enact them. Or else you're going to be talking, holding conferences, never moving forward, just talking to yourself. 46 years, this is what's taking place for the most part. Now there's a difference. What we had is a man who was the most popular, most respected, leading a column, just like in the military. He is carrying a flag that is our common identity, that's our unit. We follow that flag. We follow the thoughts associated with that. Very simple, nothing complicated. It's very basic. Like Saint Jabari said, it's not rocket science. It's, hey, I know you hate Venn diagrams. And thank God we don't have that Venn diagram leading our country. And forgive me if I'm being partisan or political, it's just the way it is. I just want to say that if we can see professionals putting together their efforts, like Nima knows what I'm talking about, and others here, like Jordan, like Sam, like many of you who have experience, just put that experience where it belongs. Focus, stay in your swim lane, do what you can, there's a lot of people who would help the 40-year-old in Iran, and you could be part of that with your skill sets. In fact, I got a text today that says, so you guys are getting together, Colonel Swanson, they know your profile, they know your background, Dr. Benayon and Jordi and Nick, and they said, is there a way that you guys could make a little bit of time, put together some mechanism on WhatsApp or whatever it is, that we can ask you questions and connect and have this conversation continue? I said, you know, that's a good idea, but we'll see what we can do. We'll see what we can do. It's going to take an effort, but we intend to continue this conversation with the 40-year-old in Iran. Enough of building walls. Walls will not get us anywhere. The best they provide is something very difficult to climb over, separating us, outside from inside. Let's build bridges and be focused on that. Just like Nick was telling us how it's done. We always say what the challenges are, but I want to go back to myself, the 40-year-old pesty guy. I just heard a lot of things that makes me ask my question, what should I do? We'll follow the law, get them all together, get them ready to understand. Don't start grandstanding in front of the foreign investors, don't scare them, work with them, tell them one-stop shop, come here, we will help you, we'll get it done. And that's my responsibility as the 40-year-old. I have to stop complaining, I have to start connecting, I have to start doing things, preparing my role in the platform, any platform. This is not an exclusive effort. Many groups will be doing the same things, and it is our intention to connect with them and to offer exchange of thoughts without hegemony, without creating an organization when everybody has to come under that organization to be able to work effectively. Centralized operations are doomed to fail. Creativity is born when various circles work on the same things. And that's where competition wins. So with that, I'd like to go to Jordi. Jordi, you heard Marcus imagining what the future is going to be like. And in this round, I'd like to hear your thoughts about the kind of industries that would attract capital, that would make it possible. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have traveled on any toll road anywhere in the world, whether it's in Frankfurt, whether it's in France, in Spain, in other countries, Mr. Graels has had something to do with that, because it required billions of dollars to be built to create an almost never-ending gift that keeps giving toll roads. They provide income. Mr. Graels is an expert in public-private partnerships for big projects. So the question to you is, you've thought about some specifics that have a potential to create jobs. Because remember, the pesky 40 or 40-year-old woman or man who's sitting there saying, you guys look fancy, and you talk about all these things, and big numbers and all that. Where's my job? How do I get to my job? So today our conversations with that 40-year-old directly on this panel, what do you tell him? What do you tell that 40-year-old, all of your experience, how is he going to look for a job in a near future, not 10 years from now? Thank you.
Thank you very much. John? Great. Okay. Thank you very much again. Well, thank you. Yes, this is something we have to do, and we have to get to know what sectors are where the investment with a PPP system will be more likely and more easier to make in Iran. Because this PPP reduces significantly the time of the management of the preparation of the project. it is fair because it goes to the market to be selected the companies that will participate in this endeavor. It's not going to be designed by one only. And then the whole thing of investment is very well tested in some 20 or 30 countries, significant countries in the world, like England, France, Spain, Portugal, Italy, Turkey as well, and the United States, Argentina, Peru, Chile, and 3 or 4 countries in Asia, like India and Thailand and Japan. So this system has worked well, very well, in all these countries, and more to come. So this consists of some features, and the sectors where this can be working very, very well, as per the experience worldwide, are, for example, one is the renewable energy, sector, where Iran has a vast potential for solar, wind, and hydroelectric energy projects. Building solar farms, wind turbines, and small hydroelectric plants can create jobs in construction, operation, and maintenance, while also addressing long-term energy needs. That's one of the sectors which very quickly we can put in place, this system working well and fairly for everybody, and creating jobs above all. Another sector where this can work very well, as per experience worldwide, is on building affordable housing projects, which is projects for the common citizen of the country. Housing project for the common system. The Iranian population need to build affordable houses for middle and low-income families that can generate thousands of jobs. The construction industry activity can provide a significant multiplier effect on the economy, additionally. A third sector would be the hospital and medical equipment manufacturing sector. And Iran is very, very unique in this regard because it has a tradition for this, for the good medicine. Establishing and upgrading hospital medical equipment manufacturing facilities can create jobs, improve self-sufficiency in healthcare, and help reduce dependence of imports, which is very important. Another sector would be building logistics hubs, so places where the fleets of trucks or lorries, nationwide and international, are just taken care of, and so on and so forth. And finally, there's the big one, which is the road networks and highways sector, building high quality highways, separated carriers, facilities, which the PPP system, where upgrading and expanding the road network, especially in rural and underserved areas, can also generate significant employment in construction and maintenance, other than service to the local business. This will also facilitate trade and commerce with the country. In short, these 5 sectors that I have described could be 5 of them, among 5 of the most immediately applicable procedures to build, to put in place structures for developing them worldwide. There are others, of course, but it is a suggestion about just that right there. That's what we have thought. Yeah.
Thank you, Jordi. We're going to, at this point, we're going to take maybe 5 questions from the audience for each one of the panel members, or you could pose questions to all of us or any one of us. I have a request. Please start the question with one of the words of how, or what, or when. And if your sentence does not start with one of these words, then I'm afraid I'm going to hear a speech, not a question. So please, if you're prepared to start your sentence with one of those words, forgive me for mentioning it because we have very little time. I will take 5 questions, and of course, ladies first. From the first row, I'm going to take the lady in the white jacket. Sherry, how are you? Yes, we know each other for a lot of years, so please, what is your question, ma'am?
Okay, it's so hard to start with the question.
No, start it with what or when, sir.
Let me just have a little statement. The statement is this: we've been here 46 years. I appreciate all the gentlemen here who cares about our country and our people. However, we all know that it's a benefit for all of the gentlemen here because the chaos in our country also started the chaos in the world. We are not just fixing the Middle East, we are actually fixing a lot of problems that this government has started in the world. Okay. We have one person, and we all talk about that, is the Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi. We do have a leader, okay? For 46 years, I've been hearing, especially the American government, to tell us that we need you under one umbrella. We need one group. We need one opposition group. That cannot be. It's not possible. It has been 46 years. We are all over the world, all the Iranian immigrants, and everybody tried to help. So everybody came up with their own group, their party, and all that. It's a very hard time.
Please get to the question, Sherry.
The question is this. I'm skeptical, even right now, as President Trump is there, we've been 46 years, Republican, Democrats, and all that. We've been hearing words, lip sync, and all of that. How do I know if we have the money in this country, in the banks, this is our money, but it was given to the Iranian government, okay? Why can't it be given to the guy who put us under this umbrella? We are all here, aren't we? And 90% of the immigrants and all the Iranian people, 90% of the Iranian people support him. What can we help you to help all of us? Not just us, but you guys too, and all over the world. Please, I'm the skeptical. Just tell me I'm wrong. Tell me that this time we're going to have a real help.
Okay, I'm going to take the answer to that question, Sherry, gladly. Your question is right. It has to be recognized that this movement has leadership, it has organization, it's getting there. Be patient with it. The government of the United States needs to hear this, and believe me, individuals on this panel will definitely take your message and repeat it in Washington, D.C.
We all together promise that we are not going to support the MAC, the Mujahideen, the communist group, that they all sit in a seminar and they clap together. Don't respond to it.
Let me finish my answer. Let me finish my answer. You're asking for financial penalty. The government of the United States will not respond to a request for help from. Let me finish my answer.
But I didn't ask for that.
I understand. The government of the United States will do what it needs to do to serve the American interest. In our community, there are a lot of individuals with a lot of capital. You must go to them. You must ask them to invest. There's a lot of people who work every day for nothing. They don't get paid. You need to say that with that confidence, which is, I know you, I know how effective you are. Go to them. Say, guys, hey, I see you giving $1 million a year, $2 million, their political contributions, help the people of Iran. You have a responsibility. Shame them into helping. It's the people, not the American taxpayer. Now, if you want the American taxpayer to have more sympathy and to understand, Look, we keep talking to ourselves. Invite your neighbors. Tell them about what this group did. You're talking about support from 150 members of the United States Congress who supported Congressman Brunson. Individuals who killed execution style, from General Hal Price to 2 senior officers of American military, that we now applaud them in Congress. Shame on them. Shame on every single representative in the United States who applauds people who killed American service members. Shame on them. Go tell them that. Go tell them that. Thank you for that. There is another lady. I'm sorry, I just go to ladies who has Miss Bakhshande. Nora Bakhshande. Please go ahead.
So
question,
you
please.
mentioned it's a question. Why didn't you mention all the natural resources that Iran has? Incredibly rich in natural resources.
در اینجا وقت برنامه امروز ما به پایان میرسد. از اینکه نظاره‌گر برنامه ما بودید بسیار بسیار متشکرم و به خاطر داشته باشید در راهی که در پیش داریم پیروزی از آن ماست. همه شما را به خدای ایران، به خدای عشق، به خدایی که جز عشق و محبت چیزی ندارد می‌سپاریم. ایران همیشه با ماست. با ما باشید.
وقتی ضحاک با ظلمش ایران زمین رو به تاریکی فرو برد، این مردم بودن که تسلیم نشدن. رهبرشون یک آهنگر ساده بود، کاوه. مردم خسته و خشمگین بودن که وقتی کاوه پرچم چرمش رو بالا برد همه پشتش ایستادن که این شد درفش کاویانی به نماد ایران متحد بر ظلم. از زیر شاهنامه تا روزهای پرغبار تاریخ معاصر ایران با یک چیز زنده مونده: مردم متحد. هر جا که خاک تهدید شد این مردم بودن که پشت هم وایسادن، نه نام‌هاشون. در شاهنامه هیچ کس تنها قهرمان نشد. آرش از جانش گذشت، کاوه فریاد زد و رستم جنگید. هر کدوم از اینا مردم پشتشون بودن. از ساسانیان تا صفوی هر وقت ایران از هم پاشید دلیلش یک چیز بود: تفرقه. و هر وقتم پیروز شد دلیلش اتحاد بود. قوم و زبان فقط رنگ‌های پرچه ایرانی‌اند، نه مرزهای بینه. چون ایران نباشد تن من مباد، بدین بوم و بر زنده یک تن مباد. این خاک به همون وحدت نیاز داره، الان هم شاید بیشتر از همیشه.